Hi. I did these series of videos 7 years ago. They're still appropriate for today. As a matter of fact, this is where I'm at 7 years from when I started. So I began to apply these principles, these truths, to connect to this presence that is within all of us. I call it common sense, and we all have that common sense, but we haven't been using it. We've been listening to the stories that our mind tells us because we programmed our minds to believe that they're the power for our life. But there's actually something that's giving us life inside of all of us. No one really knows what it is. We have different names for it. We practice all these different modalities to try to make that connection. All the great teachers that ever lived have talked about the same thing, the connection to the presence of the source of the life within you, the spirit, if you will. And so, what this method does is help you to build that relationship, to begin to build a personal relationship with that presence that is the authentic self, the person creation created you to be. Now, we're here to express that presence to the best of our ability in the day we're in. But unfortunately, we've been using our mind as if it was the power for our life, and we created opinions and belief systems and all sorts of stuff in the computer up here. And so, in order to reboot, we have to first become still. So that's what the steps to this application are. So I hope you'll take a look at the videos that I put out, even though they were 7 years ago. It's a method. It's like that's why people read all the texts from all the religions that ever were, because they're textbooks and they tell you how to do this. But this is a real time for today's day. We have video. We have a lot of things we didn't have back then. And so I hope you'll at least try that application, and you'll recognize it in whatever modality that you study it from, whether you're Christian, Jewish, Islamic, whatever faith you may practice. You'll recognize that the principles are the same. And why the principles are the same? Because it's the common sense that we're born with. We already know this stuff. It resonates with our heart. That's why we practice our faith, right? Because it feels right. It's a sense. It's a common sense that we're born with. So hopefully I'll do a few more of these videos. I didn't want to do a podcast. I have friends that tell me I should do a podcast, but this is a conversation that needs to be taking place everywhere amongst everyday people all the time. Imagine if you were at Starbucks and you're disturbed, caught up in a problem in your mind, and you forget to practice these principles. And so you're disturbed and you're angry or you're upset or you're frustrated or you just feel like giving up or whatever. And you go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee, and there's some kind of a symbol over there that lets you know there are people talking about how to reconnect to their common sense. And you go there and they remind you you're not what you think you are. You're infinitely greater than that. You're a divine presence. You're to express yourself. Your unique presence. It's unique to you in the day you're in. And they just remind you of that. And you can go, oh, I thought I'd have to kill myself. I mean, that's how it gets, right? I mean, everybody's had frustrating days. And all we really need is to remind each other who we really are. We're not who we think we are at all. We are individual manifestations of the one presence that is the love within your heart, here to express more love and more joy so that we can create the kingdom together. So we're never meant to do it alone. So I hope you'll join me on the journey. Please contact me at paul@commonsenserocks.com. And I hope you'll try this method and see if it doesn't work for you. I'm sure it will sound familiar in some form. Thank you so much. I'm really lousy at this, so forgive me.